Hey, how you doing? I hope it's good. And if it's not, I hope it gets better. So if you look at my beautiful face right now, thank you if you're old, thank you if you're new, thank you if you like the video, thank you. And if you subscribe, okay, welcome to the family. You get the blunt if you're age anytime. So Whistlindiesel, I am excited to figure out what his opinion of is on moon landing. Words. I personally, I think it's questionable, right? It's very questionable, because the person who supposedly was there was like, that's if we ever went.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and...
Right? So, I don't know. Let's find out, though. Let's get to this. Was the moon landing real? Cody's right, episode 1. Let's get to it.
So the main thing that we're going to ask you today is why you're...
Okay. What?
Welcome to our podcast. This is our first podcast. Okay. And the only reason I'm having this podcast is for this one episode to ask you a question. Is the moon landing real? Brady, I just wanted to have this podcast to let you know that the moon landing is not real.
The moon
Thank you very much.
Thank you for my Cody talk. That's not
Most definitely real, Cody.
Really?
Raise your rabbit
And I know that you've set up this debate and had hours to prepare evidence.
Brady genuinely
audience
believes
at
that the
home-
moon landing is real. Was moon landing fake? Debunked moon landing. Moon landing couldn't have been fake. Debunked moon landing conspiracy theories.
So do you want to talk about it, or present
Yeah.
your facts first, because you are the outlier. You're the...
Yeah, so my facts are that it's fake.
Explain that.
Okay.
The moon lander looks like a literal 5-year-old's tinfoil art class project.
That's irrelevant.
Indeed
Look
it
at
does.
cars in the 50s.
The cars in the 50s were much better designed than the
Yeah,
big
that's
class
a fact.
project
That
landed
is
It made it
on the moon.
It made it to the moon. Man.
It landed because you saw a picture. It made it to the moon. What do you mean?
It made it to the moon.
Okay, how did it make it to the moon? What's your proof?
Years and years of
But you
documents
can't just say
proving that
it was
they
there. You can't just say they made it to the
They
moon.
built this spaceship. There's no reason to
Yeah,
fake
that's not.
that.
Nobody's saying that.
It was like a Cheerios box with tin foil wrapped around it.
So go back to the years and years of data and then elaborate on how it was lost.
Still most definitely have all those records in NASA files. It's almost like confidential stuff, but it exists.
How's it
It's stuff.
confidential? It's been 60 years.
I mean, you could probably find it. Of course,
What they say? And NASA does not have the original telemetry recordings. The raw feed from Apollo 11 were either lost or overwritten. NASA employees, scientists, and enthusiasts to locate the original spaceman over 8 years, but were ultimately unsuccessful. That questionable is starting to look like it wasn't a thing. Biggest psyops, CIA. It was a glitch in the matrix, maybe. I
haven't
know.
done research on this
Can't
subject.
You haven't
Word.
done research, and you're gonna
In the middle
you're
of
gonna
nowhere.
believe one of the most iconic moments in human history, and you haven't done research to prove to yourself that it's true.
This is just a
We wasn't first though. We was just the first to allegedly go to the moon. Allegedly, right? We weren't first in space. Ain't Sputnik? Is that the name of it? Sputnik.
conclusion that I've made, because everybody... Okay, so how about this? Do you think the Earth is flat? That's another common major
No, the Earth
conspiracy
is
theory.
not flat.
The Earth is round.
Yes.
Shut the up. How
Yes.
flat Earth has nothing to do with this.
That's
the
a
moon
big
landing is
Okay, I have a question. If for flat earthers, if the Earth is flat, is the sun also flat? And is the moon also flat? And if those things aren't flat, then why would we be flat? Like, why in all of this universe of spheres would we be flat? Like, I'm just, like, that don't really, like.
Conspiracy
real.
theory that a lot of people believe in.
only
So,
retarded people.
The moon landing is most definitely real.
And what's your proof?
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Listen to that guy for 5
Not a
minutes.
fan. Not a fan. I used to be a fan. Not a fan anymore. Not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan. Not a fan. After him going on Joe Rogan, that kind of did the first time. That kind of did it.
Speak. He's way smarter than both of
Personally.
us combined. He knows exactly what he's talking about. If you watch that video right now, and Brandon
Pull that
might
up,
have
Jamie.
to film this on screen, but
Go to the moon. Yeah, there'll be a day when AI takes over and it'll make us their
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna need you to explain why the moon landing is real, not some expert.
I want you to explain why it was fake.
Allegedly.
We have several factors here, and some of them are obvious and they've been said several times.
Okay.
Number one, it would be the most iconic billionaire thing to ever do. Billionaires build spaceships and they do crazy They have crazy stupid money out there. I'm sure some Arab prince would have gone to the moon by now if it was doable in the 70s. They would have definitely been back. Whether it's not a whether or not it's a government,
they 100 they 100% would have been back. There would have been bases already on it. Either that or there are bases on the moon, and when they went they just did this for show. Like the technology was already way advanced for them to send the stuff already up there. You know what I mean? That's personally, that could be a thing, right? So we go back all the time, because there's a station out there possibly, right? Like if we went, I think we go back all the time. If we actually went, I think there's a station already up there.
Again, it would have 100% done again. And you can't say, oh, there's no reason to go back. It's the moon. It's the moon. And also, stop
like why not go ahead and start a fuel hub right there, because that could get you use a bunch of fuel to get out of the atmosphere, because you got to fight against gravity. So you get out of the atmosphere, hit up the moon, stop at the moon fuel station, reignite, and you use the gravity of the planets to slingshot your way to whatever planet you're trying to be to, right? That just would make sense to me. This seems like that would already be a thing if we been there, or we went and something was out there that was like, hey man, you probably don't need to come back here. And it's like, all right, yep, understood, heard, understood, acknowledged. That's a military thing right there.
Me. It's the moon. It's not that there's no reason to go back. There is thousands of reasons to go back. And they have just been like, oh, why would we go back? No reason. No. It's like saying there's a bucket of diamonds next to me. Why would I grab another one?
Are you going to tell him his minute's up so I can speak now? Or
yeah, you can speak.
Okay.
Just joking. I have more to say. What do they say? Your smartphone has more technology than what they use to go to the moon?
I don't doubt it, yeah.
If that's the case, then surely NASA and the government of any big country would have plenty of resources to go back again, right?
Yeah.
Why?
And then much less the fact that no other country has done it. And you would think that, China being so smart would decide to go to the moon.
1 second.
That is a fact.
You can't look up why the moon landing is real, Brady.
No, I looked.
It doesn't work. No phones, please. We have to use, since you believe that the most iconic event in human history is real.
It is real. I do believe that is real.
You can't just say that.
I would just like you to elaborate on the fact that there is a reason to go back to the moon. What reason is there to go back to the moon?
Oh, the same reason that.
Keep in mind that billionaires have different mindsets than you do, and they think in like a hierarchy level. They don't see like little things like, oh, moon rock, cool, name Cody.
They build literal spaceships and have rocket companies to get to space, but yet somehow that never makes it to the moon.
Yeah, they just don't need to do that.
Why are they building rockets to get to space? And they can barely, keep in mind, SpaceX has crashes all the time, and they can barely get just right out of the whole Earth area.
SpaceX is a modern miracle that they can even.
A modern miracle, yeah. It must have been like literal God that we made it on the moon in the 70s then, right?
The National Aeronautics and Space Administration making it into the air against the Russians to prove that we're a superior country.
That's funny considering the U.S. government uses and picks SpaceX over NASA for a lot of stuff.
Now we do, because we have not funded NASA.
Well, that's funny that SpaceX has talked about going to Mars, etc., but has never tried the moon yet.
Do you ever think about how insulting you are to people that walk on the moon right now? You just like...
I would love to have them on this podcast. Like, they'll get billions of views. We are one of the biggest podcasts right now.
Videos of Neil Armstrong saying that he never went to the moon.
Really?
Bull crap. Pull that up.
There is.
It would just end the argument right now.
I mean, that would, but I don't think he ever said that.
Neil Armstrong admitting he never landed on the moon. Well, Jamie, you may be incorrect. I don't see Neil Armstrong saying anything.
Yeah, I don't think he ever said that.
Oh, Buzz Aldrin tells the story of the first moon landing.
Should actually watch this, correct?
I am Buzz Aldrin.
Could have faked that shot.
And I was the lunar module pilot.
Like I trained for years to make it to the moon.
Could have faked all this.
All of this.
Get to rocket.
Them going to space, I don't think they faked going to space.
I'm sure they took off. I'm sure a rocket took off. That looks real.
I don't think they went to space. I think they went to orbit,
took off.
Floated around.
Are you gonna say the cameras are like fake here, or is that what you're going?
No, this could have all happened. It's on Earth though, Brady. Right about
Cody.
there. I'm still calling
Fake that, Cody.
Okay, so
CGI that in 1961.
Look. There's a chance that this is real right here. Like, there's a remote chance. I don't know what the camera tech was right there.
Chance.
But the fact that went through every layer of the atmosphere And
Yeah.
a camera from the 60s. Wait, I'm sorry. 1961 was the moon landing? That's even worse than what I thought. I don't know how
I
many
don't think
moon
it
landings. I
was.
think there was multiple moon landings.
It was before then. It was the 50s.
Yeah.
57 was the first.
Anyways, so apparently there was multiple.
He just said that there was multiple moon landings.
No, apparently. Yeah, that doesn't mean they actually landed.
You contradicted yourself.
No, just because I said... Are you listening to your logic right now?
Say it again.
I said apparently there was multiple moon landings.
You didn't say apparently. You were like, yeah, there was other moon landings. So you know there's other moon landings. You're just trying to be difficult.
That's what the whole debate is, because they faked those moon landings, Brady.
No, there was moon landings. That's
Okay, whether they're
my
real or
argument.
not is the question, though.
And that's
the
they were real.
validity.
They were real.
Not the fact that it exists in the digital world. It's the fact that it exists in history.
You don't have to be difficult
So-
with topics like this.
I mean,
I'm
being
not trying to
difficult.
be difficult. I'm being practical. You don't have to be literal brain dead.
I'm not brain dead at all.
So this
That's
camera
crazy.
would have been probably literally evaporated. But let's say that the shot is real.
Nah, it's probably
Considering
inside of
SpaceX
the
barely gets shots
thing.
like this today.
Heat shields actually exist.
But that is
Keep the heat
that's
away from
true.
the rocket.
I guess. 'Cause
Okay,
what it is.
all right. This is gonna be good. I'm excited to see this.
Okay, let's analyze.
How does it look?
It's a couple glitches, but that's probably just because of the bad camera. Hold on, but let me see. Do it glitch anywhere else? Let's look around. Everybody pay attention to this part. Let's pay attention to around here. Hold on, let me see. Do it glitch around here a little bit.
Okay, all right. This is gonna be good.
Anywhere,
I'm excited to
anywhere
see
up
this.
here.
Roger, how does it look?
Okay, okay, it was one right there. I think it was one right there. Hold on.
Roger, how does it look?
I'm excited to see this.
Roger, how does it look?
Who's that?
You can see the
Did you see that? I see the glitches on these, but did you
it's
see
on
that?
a string? It's literally on a string. That is extraordinarily fake. I've never seen this footage, and that's actually fake. I didn't even need to investigate.
I've actually
this
never
enough.
seen this either, but nothing stood
It's
out to me there.
horribly fake, bro.
Normal, when separated, little
That's sped up footage. It's moving much slower.
when we were
So far, all this footage could have been easily fake.
I would understand
Yeah, I
how
think
you would
so.
think some of that stuff looks fishy because it's sped up and it's like it's at a weird angle and there's shadows here where you wouldn't think there'd be shadows. But nothing stood out to me there as being like, oh my god, this
Yeah,
is
I'm
fake.
not saying it looks obviously fake. I'm saying this is easily fakeable so far.
Possibly, yes. It would be difficult too.
Now, Neil is looking out the window and manually controlling, and I'm giving him the numbers of the altitude and the speed over the ground.
40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust.
And about that time, the capsule communicator, Charlie Duke, says,
60 seconds.
okay, 100 feet, 60 seconds. We better ease down is what I'm saying, but I don't want to disturb Neil.
So you're gonna look that man in the eyes and tell him that his life's work is fake just because you think his rocket ship looks a little
No. His life's work. If faking the moon landing is what happened, then their life's work wasn't fake because they did it and convinced billions, possibly, of people. Right? You can determine if I say a million or billions. I don't know either. But you know.
goofy.
Yes.
You will tell Buzz Aldrin himself.
Straight up, Buzz Aldrin, you likely did not go to the moon unless you can prove it. Fuck Buzz Lightyear too.
And as
You gotta
soon
pull
as
out
they
your
hit the
iPhone and
ground,
show me the picture
they
that you took.
bend.
So far, all it takes is a miniature covered in dust, an air compressor blowing dust away, and a little spaceship with a shadow from a light to recreate that. That's all it takes.
I mean, I can't debate
think they
that.
should do
You
it.
could probably recreate this.
That's a micro switch, and it lights a light in the cabin. And that's when I said,
Contact light.
of course, Neil is looking out the window and controlling it, but that's the first indication of actually touching down.
Okay, engine stop. We copy you down, Eagle. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Bro, there's no way they got that freaking cinematic ass shot. They just landed on the moon. Like, life is harsh as here. It's not even Earth. And you had time to take a camera and go, bro, you just expended your resources doing that. You're not gonna be doing that. You're
don't
like,
know if that's
let's
from that trip,
find
though.
forage for.
I mean, if my cell phone got more technology in it today than that had in it, then what he's saying makes sense. Because how did it pan down? How did it pan down? Where did that energy come from? I know the solar panels and all of this glossy stuff, but what's up with that? How did, man, I don't know. It seems
I don't know
unreal.
if it's this from the first trip though.
Tranquility, we copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Okay, Neil, we can see
There's really no place.
I get radio stuff. Radio stuff was really powerful back then, and they were experts at radio. So I could understand audio transmission, but video transmission that immediate to say, okay, we can see you coming down now. Like, we can see you coming down the ladder. Bro, they're on Earth.
Yeah, it would have
So
been delayed.
revolutionary for the time. The satellites that
But it would have been super delayed. Like
had to point from their spaceship directly back to Earth. It's like almost.
Do you realize
satellite
it's
TV
like I
with
can
this.
barely get like Amazon Prime at my house in Indiana right now.
It seems
like
like a
if I'm on
because
Earth and I can barely get signal in 2024, I'm just saying
Also, don't forget, we called the moon on a landline.
they just called to the moon when they landed.
On a landline.
That we could simulate
Wait, what?
a gravity of 1/6 of what we have here. Because of that, we were scheduled at the bottom of the ladder to just hold on and sort of see what it was like under the gravity.
Okay, I just.
So how many cameras are set up on them right now? Because I saw one of him above him climbing down, and then we have another one already on the side. Like, how many cameras are there?
That's just another thing that I'm not 100% sure on, but they definitely had a way to set up these cameras. Like, after they landed, they had a crew come out and film.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. It had to be.
Wait. What do you mean they had a crew come out and film? They're on the moon.
Correct, but you could have
They had a
someone
crew go out there
and an
ahead
arm
of time,
extend
like-
out. Look, they got the
Yeah,
shot.
no shit. They definitely had
They
a
got
crew
the
come
shot.
out and
He
film. They
said
had a crew
spin
come to the
down,
studio, the moon studio, and
Crazy.
film that thing.
They got the shot, so.
Back up to that first step. That isn't collapsed too far.
Neil went down first, and he did things, and I could see him through the window.
Wait, so if Neil went down first and he's still up in there, who else is with him
So
filming?
obviously nobody got on the moon. That was my fault. But an arm or some sort of camera arm came down and filmed them walking down the steps.
He had no trouble at all, just moving around.
One mega step for mankind.
If we had the time.
See how the flag's not moving?
This is angle 3, by the way.
That's interesting. Yeah, on the spaceship. If you can't tell, it's like from high up in the air where the legs are on the spaceship.
Yeah, but
That's
how
where the
many
camera's
did
at. And the
they
flag's not
have
moving
up
at all,
there,
So
though?
I just thought that was weird. And they have a pole on the top of the flag to keep it out, or else the flag would just kind of slowly
Yeah.
fall.
I mean,
down.
you can simulate like a no wind environment indoors.
Oh, could you in a vacuum?
Indoors.
This huge studio.
There's no
in a
wind
vacuum?
indoors.
Yeah, but the flag would still be blowing. It would droop. You see how the flag on that side right there is staying exactly
It could
where it's
just be
at?
a
That's
stiff
because
flag.
there's no,
You have
there's no
you
oxygen.
can mix
They
some
got a
glue
stiff
into
flag.
it. You
Yeah,
can
they
have
could
paper
have.
mache. These have
They could have
wires in
put
there.
some
I don't see
starch.
that.
Could have just
Back on
really
Earth,
starched.
as if I was just.
And it's not that
having
it
fun.
would, and it's
I was
but it's not
really
moving
doing
at all.
something.
Like it would be doing some type of movement. It wouldn't just stay like this because the moon got enough gravity to pull them to keep them pulled down. This 100% would start to move down. Like it wouldn't move down as fast as it would on Earth, but it definitely would start to get pulled down, innit? Because if that's the case, then if they jump this high, they're gonna float away, right? Which would make no sense because the machine is taller than them. I don't understand this really.
This is like oddly good time lapse footage. This is like us setting up an iPhone in the shop.
Okay, so you mean the
But it
really
didn't move
good
at
time-
all. Hold on.
But I was really
Look.
doing something.
This is like
It ain't move.
oddly good time lapse footage. This is like us setting up an iPhone in the shop.
Okay, so you mean the astronauts that plan to do this trip for 10, 20 years, they got a good time-lapse shot of them walking? Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That's exactly what happened.
You're doubting that?
I'm
Of
just saying
course
like
they got
the
a
footage
time-lapse
is
shot back.
awfully well.
For people to observe the.
Bro,
ease
that
of
flag is
mobility.
not moving.
So we went through.
It's enough
Count.
gravity to keep this thing that don't look like it's planted into nothing down, and it's enough to keep them down. And whatever little rocks or whatever little dust that's on this ground, if you kick it, it's gonna settle back down eventually. So the weight it don't matter about the weight, I don't think, because the gravity. This is I'm not believing this. This is more and more because it's not
And
moving
that's so
unless they just
cool,
go over
man.
there and pick it up every time like it's slouch or something, or slag, fall,
I
land,
had
whatever.
planned ahead what I was going to say.
It says a call came from Earth.
We're number one on the runway.
Yep.
Now, when the lunar module takes off, it's about 1 G. but that's 6 times the gravity. So we leave pretty rapidly.
He literally just said they were almost out of fuel when they landed, and now he's like, and we took off.
Out of landing fuel. There's different stages of a rocket launch, Cody.
The ascent engine is fixed, so it's a rather sloppy feeling, but it's what's expected. There's nothing wrong. And when the engine cut off, we were...
Wait, how do they have like external footage of the spaceship moving too?
It look like they
I'm just
in a-
wondering.
This might not all be up from the
This
same
look like
launch.
they
I don't
back
care if
on
they
Earth,
launched
maybe.
100 times. This was 60 years ago. They have like a 5th angle. They have G-cam of this little spaceship. This is like interstellar now.
There's probably a reason for that. You think people wouldn't have pointed that out by now? They probably
They have pointed it
They
out.
probably had 2 up there at the time. This is probably in '74 when they got this shot.
Like another camera crew.
Well, no.
You said it. He admitted it earlier. It was another.
Those 2 Americans
Come in.
Hey, Matt, I'm just curious. Do you think the moon landing was real or faked? And I want you to say this completely honestly.
I'm the host. Thank you. Do you think the moon landing was real or faked? And I want you to say honestly.
Real.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what? You're my next guest. We'll have you on tomorrow.
They're moving it.
the people of this world.
Yeah, it's a stiff flag.
They're moving
It's
it
a
by
stiff
hand.
flag.
The spirit
It's
of
got to be
Apollo.
a
Which is
stiff
why
flag,
Brady as
right?
Well,
well.
it's not a
It's
stiff flag.
It is
What are you
a stiff
talking
flag.
about?
Just like they were picking it up. They're picking it up in the corner.
Because there's
of it coming
no,
up too.
there's
It's just a
no
stiff
There's
flag.
no
weight.
wind.
Yes, but I'm saying
Or
there's
oxygen.
Yeah, but
gravity on the moon.
there's
Yeah, there's
there's
not zero gravity.
motion, the motion of them moving that thing around. Man, this something's
It's
off.
Yeah,
man.
Earth's
so the
gravity.
flag is still going to drape if it's not stiff.
Thank you.
It is draped.
It was not. They
It's
picked it up
not.
and
Yes.
the bottom corner of it came up too.
It's true. Oh, yeah.
Like
okay.
picking up a shovel.
The spirit of Apollo transcends geographical
Could have been
barriers,
faked.
political differences. It can bring the people of the world.
Anyways, crazy thing, hear Buzz Aldrin's tell the story of the first moon landing. They did not show anything that couldn't have been created on Earth, and they really didn't reveal any of the technical evidence.
me.
That was literally some guy standing there just saying, Buzz Aldrin, professional moon landing faker, saying, yeah, so
That's
we
crazy.
initiated the blasters, and we were in good order because the engine fired up, and we were on a trajectory to the other spaceship.
He could probably talk to you for hours about technical terms, but he dumbed it down here for these people. I guarantee it. To make it easier for
A
people to
person who
understand.
literally landed on the moon and piloted
These people-
rocket
he's
ships
watching
and
it
does
right
not
now. What's up with
dumb
his shirt?
something down.
There's
you get like
probably
Elon Musk
something
level reasoning
a
there.
lot-
I know you
a
don't
lot
like Elon Musk
more.
either, but
I don't have any
I think
particular
it's-
dislike
it's,
to Elon Musk.
This
Oh my
is literally
goodness.
just like a amateur interstellar.
I know the whole moon landing thing is fake. Is just to be like a different. You're like, yeah, it's
I'm
I'm not
fake.
trying to be different. I
See
believed it
some
at first. I
sun.
used to be a believer. And then I saw a photo of the rinky-dink paper mache Kellogg cereal box shuttle that they used to get there.
Okay, so they
It
made
don't look like
to
no
space.
dust
They-
or nothing was
hell-
dusted up. This look clean. Like clean, like nothing was kicked up. No dust. Did where's the crater? Where's the crater for the rocket? Cause they had to, right. They didn't just free fall onto this, right? There's no movement. Like I see this. Excuse me, just a little bit, but it should. I feel like it'd be this is just dust. All of this should be moved, and all of the inside of this is clean. The inside. There's no way that they got oil on it, so nothing stick or something to just slide right off. Like that's grease, baby oil, maybe. It might be baby oil.
Kellogg cereal box shuttle that they used to get there.
Okay, so they made it to space. They just didn't. They were like,
you can go to space. There's a space station, and that's proven. That's why there's daily footage of the space station. Like there's people in there and
Yeah,
everything, all that
yeah.
going on. But yet there's no moon station, which would probably exist by now. 4K
Or
Apollo
underwater
16
station.
lunar rover. I want to see this.
this is Apollo 16. This
Fifth
is
day of
like
the mission.
This is like the 4th or 5th moon landing.
They're on the moon though.
Okay.
Is there an underwater station?
Stabilized footage. Tell me anything you see fishy there. Good, point it out.
What?
Brandon, you too. Anything you see fishy on that entire shot?
Well, there's nothing fishy at all. It could have just been easily faked.
When he hits the craters and starts bouncing, it's when he gets his rooster tail.
Okay. I can't
Let
hold
it
it
play.
anymore. I can't.
Let it play.
Wait.
What
You
did
just
he-
sent an astronaut to the moon. Billions of dollars, like whatever business moguls and governmental officials are behind this. Sent this
They're just
person,
driving
they're like,
around
let's
in a
bring a
cart.
car. Their first comment, I don't know if it's their first comment, however long they're there, is look how it bounces and throws rooster tails.
Yeah.
Bro,
Man,
they're
what-
not gonna be
what's up with the-
off-roading like it's a beater Jeep.
This was called the Grand Prix, like
Hold on,
shot
no.
here.
Hold on.
Look how it
Well, hold on. He
bounces.
probably
A bunch
gonna
of
play it
loops.
again.
Jeep.
This was called the Grand Prix, like shot here because they
Look, okay, you see all this dust?
drove it around, did a bunch of loops.
see the way
and
it
they
go
just
back
had fun
down?
with it. That was the rover.
the flag would definitely fall, and
went out
it
there
would be
and
dust on
mankind
that
went to the moon, and the people that are there
spacecraft.
That's not all they did.
went off-roading like they're in beater jeeps.
This was just like a testing run to do this, but
That's not what they're gonna say.
watch the rooster tails. How do you fake that?
I'm not denying that what happened in the footage happened, but it wasn't on the moon.
How do you deny the rooster tails? Go back.
The rooster tails happened.
He makes sharp turns. Hey, that was a good stop. Those wheels just locked. Mark off.
Look at the sand.
Yes, I'm saying the comet is like a couple of homies off-roading at Moab. Hey, I actually have a question. Is there any footage of like an astronaut, they're holding this camera, right? Like it's a video camera. This is on the moon. This is what I would have done if I'm on the moon. I'm gonna like reach down and I'm gonna like just dig and like pick up the dust. Just to
There
like,
might be a shot of that. I have not
like
watched
you're
all
on
of
the moon.
footage.
That's what you're gonna do. Astronaut digging on the moon.
As I get down to the 12-inch layer.
Look at the dust. How do you replicate that?
Brady, because you can replicate dust on Earth.
Look at it. No, see how it like floats away? It doesn't float away like normal dirt. Idiot.
Yeah, because you can just slow it down.
I mean, you could, but you have to be digging at twice the speed, and those are like normal movement speeds. Yeah, dude, your mind is starting to get changed.
That footage
I
is-
can see it in
No,
your
the-
eyes, dude.
The other thing you're seeing in my eyes is the absolute realization that that is not a unique shot whatsoever, and that could have easily been created in 10 seconds on Earth.
Really? Okay.
Astronauts falling
I
on
don't
the
know about
moon.
that one.
The dust again.
Jack Schmidt having a...
This is the first clip where I can tell either lesser gravity was either faked really well, or the slight chance that that's a real moon clip.
I think that's a real moon clip there, buddy.
There's a much
What if they were in a pool with green, like a green painted pool, and then they green screened it?
larger chance that the lesser gravity was faked with cables or ropes or something on Earth.
I think the case here is that you're an uneducated moon landing hater, and you're finally watching footage now that is proving that the moon landing was real, and you're at that transition point where like you're just about to cross over.
But you're not going to gaslight me into believing something that's not true.
You're close.
You can't
You're
just say
close.
I'm uneducated.
We watch clips for another 2 hours. Your mind's going to be completely changed.
You've given me no facts.
What?
You mean no scientific facts.
The facts are the 4 videos
Brady,
that
let
we
me
just
ask you
watched.
this. How does a rocket take off?
I do not. That's quite literally rocket science, Cody. I do not know
No,
rocket
how does
science.
the basic science? How does
Fuel
a rocket get off the
ignition.
ground?
Thrusters and stages. That's the basis of all I know. I'm not a
little
rocket
more, a
scientist.
little more.
I work at Whistlindiesel. I'm not a rocket scientist for sure.
Well, you maybe shouldn't be here anymore.
That I'm not a rocket
that's crazy.
scientist?
Yeah, we only need rocket scientists here. Look at this.
I mean, I got motors and stuff.
It just looks like fun. I would do the same thing.
I don't doubt that they would try having fun at some point. I don't doubt that.
Did you see the dust there? The dust went
Brady,
and floated in
I'm
the air.
So
Yeah,
sorry,
but
Brady,
there is
they have
no
dust on Earth,
dust.
too.
Yeah, does it do that?
On-
Does it float away in the air?
Yeah, it
crap.
does.
Really?
Actually,
Really
it does.
does it?
And,
Does it do
and
that?
large quantities would still,
Like
in
heavy
slow
chunks.
motion, would look like they're floating away.
Like heavy chunks of dust. Jamie, keep quiet.
Yes, sir. You're full of dude. Stop talking.
Why is he helping you? He's the worst.
You are horrible at this.
I mean, it could be. That's what I thought. Might be
Let me get this straight. Even if they went there a dozen times, I don't care. I could see, a little bit jumping around and like having a good time to push the PR of like, hey, we're on the moon. It's fun. Do I see it being like a little Jeep off-roading festival with guys jumping around, kind of falling everywhere, banging their spacesuits into rocks and going doo 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 doo? It's literal.
I feel like you would probably be. I wouldn't. Okay. Rocks could be sharp, and falls could be hard. I ain't trying to rip my suit. Man. That's bad. It'd be a bad day, man. Fall on a rock, rip your suit, or as you try to lift yourself up, you push off, snap something, it done rip in the joint or something. Nah, man.
I don't
man.
see all of the billions of dollars of likely, I don't know how much it cost.
It's a lot
How
of
much
money.
did it cost to land on the moon? The Apollo program's total cost was about $25 billion. You're telling me they put $25 billion into this, and they're just gonna get up there and they're gonna do a little dance, and they're gonna, let's go off-roading.
Well, it wasn't just a
That's
little
what we
dance.
would do.
That's just what they did. That's just like how to have fun. It's the most insane thing to ever happen to humanity. And
How about
forever.
we take maybe some core samples, or we do some like excavation, or
You think
we,
they
like,
weren't doing
do
that?
long
That's what they were
range-
digging.
I'm sure they
That's
did,
crazy.
but
Do you think they're out there just having a fun time with shovels?
The footage that we've seen has a very small scientific factor. Like most of it is just like, hey, we're on the moon. Let's drive around.
I'm not really sure what the point was behind the go-kart race, but I mean, they did it. That's not your point. Your point isn't why are they doing that. That your point is it was fake.
I must leave. Our podcast here is wrapping up. Thanks to Whistlindiesel for sponsoring this video. Whistlindiesel is a $1 trillion media company. Thanks to Monster Max Apparel, the highest quality apparel you will ever wear in your life. Don't be a clown. Remove that frown. Buy Monster Max Apparel. Anyways, that was our first episode. The winner is Cody. I win. My argument is correct.
No,
the moon landing was fake. Thank you all.
This is the first
Don't
episode.
settle for mediocrity. Watch the Cody is Right podcast every whenever at whenever. I'm leaving.
I definitely think it's very questionable. It's super questionable. How long is this video? It's super questionable, right? Because how they did all them shots and the suits and all the other evidence that we saw. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, let me know what you want me to react to in the comments, please. If you don't mind, I will add it to the list and join the Discord. We are drivers. That is the name of our Discord. Link in the description. So yeah, thank you. But all right.